What changes can we expect from Twitter, and how will crypto be involved? Visa's got some new crypto and blockchain patents we're going to tell you about, and there's more news from the SEC versus Ripple case. It's a mishmash of badassery. Plus, we've got some expert tips to help you survive the bear market. Rawr. It's just the tips. On our bad news, episode number 644 of the Bad Crypto Podcast.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, ignition.
Who's bad?
You know where you are. You're in the Republic of Bad Cryptopia. I'm Joel Comm.
And I'm staying bad. Wait, the show's over?
No, we're just starting.
I'm Travis Wright.
We're just starting. For those of you that are paying attention, I've been wearing the same clothes all week. That's because we've recorded our news shows in advance for the week, since Sir Lord Travis is going to NFT London to deliver a keynote. And I guess by the time this episode comes out, that will have done. You will have completed it. So as a futurist, how was it?
Oh, wow. It was amazing. I met so many awesome people, very friendly. And then I talked in a British accent a little bit, crack jokes. And now, while this is live, I'm probably on a train to Scotland. I'm going to go see my land, and I'm going to go take a piss on it. That's what you got to do, mate. You got to take a piss, isn't it? Right there on it.
So, there's a reason that we refer to each other as Lord Joel and Lord Travis. It's because we are Scottish lords. We're landowners. For the price of $49.95, we went to establishedtitles.com. And this guy's brilliant. Like, he's got, acres of land in the middle of, nowhere, Scotland. And he sells, 1 square foot. So that you can
1 square meter.
A square meter, whatever. It's a tiny piece of land, but you have the coordinates to exactly where it is, and you can go visit them and take a piss on your land if you want to.
Territorial pissings, mate. That's what I got to do. I got to do it. It's got to be done. I'm going to take a photo of it, and maybe we turn it into an NFP.
So there you go. That's why we're lords. Also, the reason that we are not covering CoinGecko market on these last 2 episodes is because we don't know what it's going to look like in a few days. So instead, we're just going to jump right into the news that you need to know about, beginning with the story here on Ether. It has had the biggest weekly gain in 3 months now. The previous week, this story is dated Halloween, the 31st. Ether rallied 16% the previous week, registering its biggest weekly gain since July. And I guess we can call this a rally. I feel like it's after, the sideways action we've seen. It's been nice to see Bitcoin bumping back up over 20. Let's see. Let's look into the future, Sir Lord Travis, because we're recording this on the 31st, but this episode is going to air on November 4th. So what is the price of Bitcoin going to be at, let's say, noon Eastern on November 4th?
So what day is the midterms?
The 2nd is election day, right?
Second. So I think probably Bitcoin will be under $20,000 at that point, probably 19,000 something. What is interesting though about this whole switch is that it's the first time that Ethereum has become deflationary, right? So the supply has actually increased by only 1,300 tokens. If it had still been proof of work, it would have increased by 481,000 tokens. So think of that. Like in that short 2 months, almost 500,000 Ethereum would have been created. I don't even know how many max tokens there are, but for it to only be created, increase a little bit, that's pretty good. And I've heard that some things are getting even burned. So that is interesting to me to see what's going to happen across that over time.
I'm going to give you my prediction. My prediction is that there's going to be a red wave that's going to take place unless they can cheat on an epic scale again. Yeah, 81 million people voted for Joe Biden. Come on, people, a little common sense here. There has never been, like, traditionally in the U.S. midterms, the party out of power gains seats. Never has there been, never in my life have I seen a weaker sitting candidate, president, than we have in Joe Biden. The economy's out of control. Gas prices are ridiculous. And I think there's going to be a red wave. I think that's going to make the markets bullish. I'm going to predict that Bitcoin will be at 21,200 on November 4th at noon Eastern time.
Wow. See, that's interesting. I like your optimism through your pessimism there.
Yeah.
That is good. Now, and I would say, not to get too political, but it's like, you know what, I'm talking about this as an NFTs of being utilized in blockchain and for voting, because when a lot of them are using the same sort of Dominion type voting systems all over the world. I mean, look at just what happened in Brazil. Like, there's a guy who's now, it's his third term in presidency after skipping one from Bolsonaro. The new guy is in charge. And when he was in charge before, there was all kinds of corruption and craziness. However, some of the smaller towns and areas remember the good times that he'd had. So they remember his name and they were, we want the old times. So they bring in this old guy back. And they said that there was actually more cybercrime yesterday while that voting was going on in Brazil. It was the second most cybercrime in Brazil worldwide. There's a lot in America, but there was a lot of stuff that was going back and forth on some of those voting systems. So I don't know what's going to go on this, but I would prefer if we could just have everything fair. That's all I want. And if you lose, you lose. And if you win, you win. And I'm good with that. And I've always been good with that. But I think personally, what's happened over the last 50 years or so is that the traditional mafia is now sort of in charge at the global stage, and they're acting like the mafia. And if you're not part of them, you're against them, and they will cancel you or get rid of you in some way. That is not conspiracy. That's just the way life is at this point.
So just gotten a note on the side here from producer Lisa to inform Bad Us that election day is actually November 8th. So there goes the reasons for, my predictions. But
are we sure? I know that I know November 8th, wasn't that the day that it was last time on the 2020 was November 8th?
I'm not paying attention because as a Puerto Rican, we can't vote in the presidential election, but I'm not registered here yet for reasons that will boggle the mind. So I can't vote at all. I don't know. Are you registered to vote here on the island?
Not to vote here. No, it's part of the thing. You come to Puerto Rico, you are our territory. You don't necessarily get a vote. So what about this, Joel? So the next article on CoinDesk: surging popularity of Ethereum staking keeps lid on yield. So over 14 million Ether, more than $2 billion, is currently deposited on the Ethereum blockchain for staked. But as the stake pool gets larger, the yield is going to get lower for people. So, as it's going on, do you want to even stake your Ethereum?
Right.
And when you stake your Ethereum, you give that area that you're staking it a little more power. And then right now, from what I heard, was that America, there's about 42% of the Ethereum blockchain staked in America. So America views Ethereum as they have jurisdiction over Ethereum right now.
Well, and also you can only stake in right now. You can't unstake what you put in. So, it makes sense. Here's the pie, 100% of the pie. And as more people stake, that pie gets divided smaller and smaller. So that's why the yield is going down.
Yeah. What about this, though? It's like, so if you're looking at the data, there's a spike in deposits and validators, 400,000 depositors. Since this has happened, only 1,300 ETH has been created. If if proof of work was going on, 480,000 ETH would have been created. So think about this: is if only 1,300 ETH has been created, these validators aren't making that much comparatively.
But it's better than putting your money in the bank account.
Right on. Yeah, it's better than a swift kick in the balls.
Isn't everything better than a swift kick in the balls?
I think everything is probably better than that. Yeah.
Is that what you say when you get the swift kick in the balls? Visa has been in the game for a while, and now they've got some trademark applications that cover a range of crypto products, including, shocker, a crypto wallet, also some filings for management of your crypto and NFTs. But NFTs are just a fad, guys.
Yeah.
They're gonna go away. I'm
This is what
telling
it
you.
says. This is good. It says Visa, the International Service Association, is what it is, providing temporary use of non downloadable software for users to view, access, store, monitor, manage, trade, send, receive, transmute, and exchange digital currency, virtual currency, cryptocurrency, digital and blockchain assets, and non fungible tokens. And then it goes in to describe what all it means. They're going to provide virtual environments in which users can interact for recreational, leisure, and entertainment purposes accessible in the virtual world. They're going to find ways to use their services to pay. Even if it's through crypto, it's going to be somehow through them, and Visa's going to get their cut. They're trying to stay relevant as they know the world is changing.
Of course it is. I can't tell you how many people that we've encountered on social media, especially on Twitter, that 2 years ago when we were talking about NFTs, were like, scams, these things will never last, they're not real, I'll never buy one, I'll never own one. And back then we were saying you have no vision, right? This is why you're not going to lead, because you're not even a good follower. You're a naysayer, and you don't understand where the puck is going. And as futurists and technologists now for more than 50 years between the two of us, we see where it's going. And NFTs are here to stay. The metaverse technologies are here to stay. Crypto is here to stay. So you can stop saying nay, start saying yay, figure out how you can play. That's all I got
to say. All right. And so actually, if you go to LinkTree / future of NFTs, I put together a presentation and a bunch of PDFs. I didn't put the PDFs together. I compiled them from all over the world, all these top consulting firms, all talking about Web3, NFTs, and crypto and how they're starting to adopt it. You can see if you read through some of these PDFs, which I'm providing to you, LinkTree / future of NFTs, go grab that because it's going to be an interesting ride and it's not going away. Another thing not going away, it seems, Joel, is this SEC case with Ripple, right? It started in 2020 that Ripple had sold XRP as an unregistered security. They're going through this thing. And now there's the Blockchain Association, which is a crypto lobbying organization in D.C. They are filing permission to actually support Ripple as a friend of the court in its ongoing defense. We would like this Ripple thing to end because I think that's going to shape the future market. So I think everybody involved is trying to get that thing right.
Yeah, I mean, I think the SEC is scrambling now from, what I've read from friends that are watching this. They pretty much everybody feels that XRP is going to win this. I'd be shocked and stunned if they do not. And I think that, whatever you think of, Ripple as a centralized organization, a win for blockchain is a win for blockchain, and a win over, against the government, as far as I'm concerned, is a big win. So we're still watching that, just as we're watching what's happening on Twitter. While not necessarily crypto related in and of itself, Elon Musk's support of Dogecoin it definitely brings crypto into the equation. So this article here on BBC, from the BBC, where Travis Wright will be BBCing speaking, is Elon Musk says the Twitter blue tick is to be revamped. So this is the verified mark that we have on our accounts, and they're going to start charging $20 a month to be verified. I'm good with this. In fact, I think my take is this: every account on Twitter should belong to a real person. No more anonymous.
Yeah.
You have to be real. And I know that rules out some accounts. Like that means Cat Turd will have to, maybe there's a special process for some accounts to have another level to be an anonymous account because they've built a personality as an anonymous account.
But it's a personality. It's a one person thing, right?
Right.
It's like you build up a personality. You're doing it, but it would prohibit people from building new personalities or doing new things if that was the case. But they do currently right now, Joel. They do have a paid method called Twitter Blue, which I do participate in, and
Me too.
it allows us to see I can use my NFTs as my icon. I can see new status things, and you get to try new things before other people. It also allows you to edit your tweets and some other stuff. I find that it's valuable for $5 a month. I don't mind it. And actually, I made sure to do that whenever Elon Musk has bought it. I mean, I think the advertising dollars are going to go away, but I would love to see. I mean, I love the little tweet emojis that they do, like with certain hashtags. And like it's almost like certain brands should have like their own little tweet emoji, and it's like I'm watching the Tweemoji for Game of Thrones. Like they should have their own logo. And it's almost like that's advertising in a way
Yeah.
because I see it and I go, oh, I know that's Netflix. I see that. That's like advertising. I don't have to read it. I can look at a little Tweemoji. So there's a lot of things that's going to be changing. $20 to keep your blue tick. Okay. You know how much it costs to get a blue tick on Instagram now? It costs about $50,000 to try to get a blue tick because you got to go through this process. You got to have all these articles that are written about you. You got to send all of these up. And are you a noteworthy person? Does Instagram think you're a noteworthy person? If you're a noteworthy person, then they give you the blue tick, which is a really big ego boost for some people. Some people, you get it on their own. I wasn't qualified for it. Apparently, Joel tried to make it happen. That didn't work. Bad Crypto is over there verified. Joel's verified. I'm not verified, Joel.
I verify and validate you. I
Thank
love
you.
that Elon
Oh,
has called out the New York Times, which of course is one of the biggest proponents of fake news out there. The
yeah.
once great paper of record is now not worthy to line your bird cage.
I
So
wonder how once great they were though, because I mean, even I did some research on this. It's like they said something about the Holocaust back in the day. Only three times. They never talked about what what Hitler was doing. Right? It's like, why is that? What like were they ever really trustworthy? They were
maybe not.
trustworthy because the mainstream media propped them up and said they were trustworthy. But you can see what happens now with Twitter. If Elon Musk is not, sort of on the inside working for the powers that be, right, as sort of controlled opposition, which I don't think that he is. But it's like you never know. I don't ever fully trust anything 100%. But you could see how like he called out Hillary on something by saying,
Mhm.
"Well, the thing there in Pelosi might not be what you think it is." Well, then he deleted that, so it's like he's got to kind of be careful because he's got to kind of toe the line in ways to not piss off people. But before, if somebody those narratives didn't want, basically, boy, you just WhatsApp Vijaya, the head of legal
Mhm.
and trust, and say, we don't like this person. Make sure they're banned. Get this tweet off here. We don't want this trending. Now they don't have that inside person to tweet. And so I've noticed that the trends are really interesting now on Twitter because they're not being stymied.
Bring back Project Veritas, some of the finest investigative journalism in the world right now. What James O'Keefe is doing, and because the people who are hiding or doing things in the dark do not want their deeds to be brought to the light.
Mm-hmm.
And so journalists that bring to the light and can actually prove these dark deeds, they are the heroes of this generation, and the truth needs to be said whether it makes us comfortable or not. I told myself a long time ago, when I was a young adult, I said I would rather live with an uncomfortable truth than a comfortable lie. I want to
Right.
know what's real, whatever the cost to my own personal beliefs or convictions may be. I just want to know what's true, and I think that's a position that I recommend other people take
Yeah,
as
I
well.
just I just want the truth. Like John Lennon said, just give me some truth. That's all I want. I don't care if it's negative or if it's positive. I just want it to be real. And I understand that he or they who wins the wars writes the history books. So I don't really know that what we think we know is accurate because those some of those people have reasons they want you to believe this. That might not be the case long term, right? And so it's always interesting. And it's why we always teach you guys to do your own research, to go down rabbit holes. Don't be as scared to go against the status quo. Like I firmly, I'm not really in a party of Democrats or Republicans. I'm really kind of in the middle. I have issues on both sides of things. I just want it to be true. And I realize that most generally there's people in the Republican Party and the Democratic Party that are working together covertly in this sort of uniparty thing. So I don't even really ever trust anything that comes out on either side, which is why I sort of go and do my own research.
Unitardies, that's what they are. So let's close out the show with some top tips from the crypto community to get through this bear market. and we're going to jump right down here into them. Who said this? This was on Reddit.
Yeah, this is a
Can't
post. This is a whole big thread on what serious tips do you have for staying on top of your mental health during a bear market and overall worldwide situation. That is in the show notes, and it's talking about there's different people who say, "Hey, I ignore the charts. I have a full time job. Don't rely too much on the crypto. It's a long term game. You gotta just be smart with it, Joel."
This is a great piece of advice. Can't stress enough how important some fresh air and outside time can be. Are charts getting you down? Go for a walk. It'll help wonders. Remember, the best investment you could do is your mental health. That is seriously true. Look, at the end of the day, it's only money. Now, I understand if like it's your last dollar and you're struggling to put food on the table, you're a single mom and you're, making sure your kids are clothed, then I'm not minimizing that it's only money for you. Once you've got your essentials taken care of, though, I mean, listen, we've been on this ride now for more than 5 years, and we've seen crypto up at the top and we've seen it down the bottom. And we have plenty reason to cry for not selling at the top. I mean, we've seen some serious declines and we've seen some wins,
Uh-huh.
but you just kind of get used to that and you have to take it in stride, especially if you're in it for the long haul.
And I do think that's very true. It's like you can see, like, oh my God, it's feeling a little tight here. Oh shit, I should have pulled more. I should have pulled out more profits. Why did I pull out more? And like this time, I pulled out more profits than I did the first crypto winter. Still not enough, right? And you never really know when that crypto winter is going to hit. We're not always on the charts, and so we're not seeing where it's like, oh, this is the top of the market. Because as far as my mind, it seemed to me that once Bitcoin hit 64,000 and then dipped and then hit 69,000. I'm like, okay, we're on the run. We're on the run up to 100 because it had never done that before. That was a new looking thing. And I was like, all right, here we go. And we're going to hit 100,000 or close to it. And then no, and it dipped and then dipped and then dipped.
Yeah, this is a long thread on Reddit. This guy says I didn't invest more than I could afford to lose. I see my portfolio down overall, but I accepted we may not see real highs again until 2024, 25. I just dollar cost average some extra cash when I can and don't stare at the charts. I also don't get overly hyped on price increases thinking it's going to moon because I expect it to fall back down again. And I think that's a realistic approach.
Yep, can be. So keep an eye on it. Cost price average if you can, right? Dollar cost. If it's like if you bought something, whoa, this has gone down, but I think it's a good long-term play, then maybe buy it when it's lower. So then your overall price of what you spent is less per token, right? So then when the upside goes, you have more upside, right? I mean, I bought some Gala when it was like at 30 something cents because Snoop Dogg was coming into the metaverse and it went from
Right.
30 something cents down to 4 cents.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Ouch.
wow. So get some. Don't do that then because that's not always good.
Here's some more good advice. The best thing to do is to find another goal outside of crypto. Lose that extra 10 to 20 pounds. Read that book you've been meaning to. Take a course on Udemy, Coursera. Take up a hobby. From the mental health literature, literally the best thing you can do for your mental health when you're not feeling great is to establish a worthwhile goal and then work towards it.
Mm-hmm. Bone hot chicks. That might be something that you could do instead of worrying about crypto. That might be something you could do, but you might not be able to actually do that with crypto being so low. So never mind on that. But
This
this
guy
is a great
started.
thread. This is a really
Yeah,
good thread here. So take a look at this, folks. Take a look. Don't get married to your coins. That's it. Take emotion out of trading because sometimes you get so caught up in some coin, it's going to moon, and you got this emotion and you ignore it. It's dropping, drops 90%. You never got out of it because you're so emotionally tied to it. Just take out of emotion out of that, and I think just keep rocking and rolling.
we're going to get, let's go ahead, producer Lisa, and put a link to the Reddit thread in the show notes as
I did
well.
that already. Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Sir Lord Travis is on top of things. So way to go. Hopefully you guys are having a great fall. We're going to be moving here into winter very shortly, and tis the season to be jolly. Will we see the bear market continue? Have we seen the lows yet? Have we hit the bottom? Will the bull come back to life in 2023? I don't know. We'll be looking at some predictions for what's going to happen next coming into the year. The one thing that we do know is that we intend to be here to continue delivering value to you, our listeners. We do value you personally, and we'd love to hear from you. Write us. badcryptopodcast@gmail.com is one way that you can reach us, or you can call the Bad Crypto hotline. Our Bad Crypto bot, our fembot, is standing by 24/7 to hear from you. And here's the phone number: 708-885-9030. It's 708-885-9030. Call, leave us a message. Tell us what you think. What would you like to hear? What did you like that you did hear? What didn't you like? Tell us to stay bad. Whatever. We just love to hear from you guys.
What Joel said. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to go catch a flight to London. And by the time you listen to that, I'm already in London, probably going to Scotland. It was amazing. And we're Sir Lords, and I'm taking a piss, and I'll send you a picture.
So stay bad.
Who's bad?
The Bad Crypto Podcast is a production of Bad Crypto LLC. The content of the show, the videos, and the website is provided for educational, informational, and entertainment purposes only. It's not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, or trading advice of any kind. You shouldn't make any decisions as to finances, investing, trading, or anything else based on this information without undertaking independent due diligence and consultation with a professional financial advisor. Please understand that the trading of Bitcoins and alternative cryptocurrencies have potential risks involved. Anyone wishing to invest in any of the currencies or tokens mentioned on this podcast should first seek their own independent professional financial advisor. Can you also take a dump on my square meter, please?
I don't know. It depends on how much fiber I eat before then.
You put your pants down there, lad, and go ahead and take a nice stout crap on my land.
Take a nice stout deuce. Right on my property.
Drop it like it's hot, and I'd be thinking of Sean Connery as you do, not because
Drop
he was
it
a
like
shitty
it's
actor.
hot and stinky, but not hot and wet. You don't want that.
Yeah. Oh, are you gonna stake on our land? Is that what you're gonna do? You're gonna stake a crap. I'm gonna put some crap on this land and hope it brings a yield.
It's gonna yield farm on my land here and put some shit coins there.